leave it to Auntie Cleo to turn a perfectly charming...
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
We could use the assistance, that's for sure. The gas leak has made our automechs a touch unreliable.
Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for Zeranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers. You're free to pass, stranger.
Shifty looking individual, if you ask me. Outsider.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Ah, good. A captive audience. Money well spent. You must have spied those nefarious crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army! Oh, you're right. I could be a secret Crabble and not even know it. Crabbles are the bane of Arcadia. Strong, intelligent, and superior to us in every way. You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble!
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies? Talk to my friend the quartermech here. passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. This is the Protectorate, after all, where perfection is achieved through discipline, not mercy. Now what'll it be? Aw, I really need someone else to test this thing. Tell you what, if you give it a go and have any trouble, I'll be happy to get you sorted.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce.
All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the Marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. Glad to oblige.
Ambient Zeranium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. Initiate.
See you soon, I hope.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
A right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
Right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
A right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Oh, yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. What happens to any member of the Protectorate who falls short of fulfilling their lifelong oaths of service? Execution for the unworthy, and mental refreshment for the salvageable and the stalwart. Dereliction of duty is a heavy offense, and no lesser sentence will fit the crime. I hold myself to the highest standard, but this Zeranium leak, it threatens all that I hold dear. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the Zeranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Zeranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a Protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset, and I am its second steward. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Auntie's choice. For their failure of loyalty and grit, they were punished, and rightly so. Now, their burden is mine, but I won't allow my unit to suffer the same fate.
Glad to have you back.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Xeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor. Stay true, outsider.
Outsider?
Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of Xeranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Xeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Xeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Xeranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Xeranium crystals to explode. Xeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Xeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Xeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Xeranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from Xeranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard.
Commander, I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo. Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Until...
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis. Then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Brigadier Montelli does not accept excuses, and he does not tolerate failure. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? 1 catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger. Yes?
Right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
I see the way back in through here. Just need to find a way around this mess.
Done. The Zeranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. The damage must have been more advanced than we thought. I knew I should have pushed the repairs earlier. Sure, a few may have died, but the mission might still have been salvaged. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks, and worse, will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions. And with the island's fall, I may have dealt a crippling blow to the Protectorate itself. Our foes will use this place as a stepping stone. eating their way deeper into Eden like ravenous maggots. And it will all be my fault. I'll be remembered, if any of us is, as the one who lost it all. Yes, I suppose I have. Now please, leave me be. Away with you, stranger. While I'll not blame you for what's come to pass, the sight of you still makes my hackles rise.
I've been bartering with defectors. Traded 140 ticket for a whole can.
Whoever fixes this rift problem is definitely getting a whole size.
Always have time for a freelancer in my employ. Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Though I don't understand your soft-hearted tendencies, you do good work. So I can lower myself to easing your emotional load. Anyone still living at that repair facility is safe. They'll be stuck there trying to fix the facility for the whole war. And we won't attack it, since we know it's ruined. Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. Oh, Auntie, I cannot believe what transpired. My troops defied their orders and captured the bridge. Such a shame we can't shoot soldiers for taking their own initiative. Sound convincing? Considered a career in the performance department years ago. Met Milver Street. Transferred out, so did he. At least I've realized I ain't still on stage. It's a protectorate power generation facility. Utilizes the wilds of the air currents to turn generator rotors or some such nonsense. I care more for logistics than engineering. A heap of fighting. My troops at the forward operating base will assist you, but if you can secure any greater advantages, you'd best do so. The Yaysayers sense they'll soon be cornered and fight all the more fiercely thereof. It won't be easy, but it's the most direct route to the Vox. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, it'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.
Being this close to DeVries? Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure.
Itching to hunt down that skeleton.
Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Takes all sorts.
this unit assist you.
And I wouldn't. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Anyway, need something?
Now available in carbonated. Anti-Cleo and Pals brandy. Now with child-proof easy open cap. Anti-Fizzo's Nub Lum.
Those guards are mighty agitated. And some are wearing gas masks. Yeah, something ain't right here. We should be cautious.
Touchy today. Any little thing, I swear, and... Work places? Stop. Every little thing he says. Wonderful idea, Percy. Never recognized, never commended, but don't be resentful. Wouldn't anybody be? A profusion of reasons why. Ask anyone. Why is it that I just want to choke the life out of everyone today?
Why is this door open? Isn't this lab meant to be secure? Doesn't anyone else have standards in this place? Raring to fight.
I've got troublemakers. You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes. Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmet Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes. Well, it's only my second time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit, I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well, you'd certainly think so, but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. Well, of course. Succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? Oh, my favorite topic. By all means, fire away. Our lab's focus is the utilization of local flora and fauna in development of commercial products and proprietary methods. Anything else before we set to it? Well, you'd certainly, but as much as I'd love to natter on, we probably ought to get matters underway. We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Fresh spores will be key in the formulation of an antidote, as will the particulars and analysis. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds, a satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Pretty convenient that he only managed to save himself from the spores. Still, we ought to fix this before it spirals more out of control.
begin business.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon Den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Wind-borne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample. Simple enough. A routine task for the Audacious Advances field team. Quiet now as we approach the rap's nest. Certainly this spirited variety will offer... Oh, no! Oh, okay. We need to run now!
Armed and ready. It's a brawl.
Ready to take the hit. Got a distraction for you.
I've had my fill of wrangling spores. This should be enough for the antidote.
Commander. Not getting up without help, Commander.
Little pick-me-up for you. A dead lab worker, unarmed.
On your toes.
Once more, I find myself full of indignation about anything and everything.
What was that? Ain't nothing there.
Great waves of umbrage rolling right through me.
Ah, my most favorite, least homicidal subordinate. How's all our field work progressing? Absolutely gorgeous. Look at you. And to think I just forcibly coerced the first gormless dunderhead who walked by and found you. Lucky me. Now, first things first. Place the data cartridge in the drawer for me, right here, in the slot below my intercom. Haha. Allow me to give this a cursory eyeball and... perfect. I'm sure we have the correct neutralizing agent here in the lab. I'll nose out the exact compound within our chemical reserves in 2 shakes of a rat's tail. always fortuitous to have ready access to a key chemical agent nearby. Just imagine the ad slogans. Air, now with extra fractiousness. Though, I suppose it only works on other Andy's Choice employees, not our preservative-free rivals. Oh, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now we must formulate an antidote. If we're able to save my remaining subordinates, they can help us rush this product to market. Normally, I'd say perfection can't be hurried, but... there. I have determined the ideal counteragent. Here you are. Place it and the spore samples into that synthesizer. Enable the device and it will begin a working antidote momentarily. Return with it directly as soon as it does, if you please. I cannot wait to put this entire sordid affair behind us. Though in the end, this should turn out to be quite a lucrative day. I saw you working the chemical synthesizer. I presume you were successful in creating an antidote? Nice try. But you don't possess nearly the negotiating power you might suspect. Not when I can simply bide my time and wait for another gormless dunderhead to stumble by. Why, let that thick-headed boob amble off with your reward. Not budging? Oh, all right. I suppose I'd be willing to throw in a little extra as a merit bonus for your superlative performance. Wonderful. All right. I am activating the air filtration system. There. Should only take a few moments for the antidote to circulate. Marvelous. You'll find your remuneration in the chest behind me. My supervisor will hear of your actions. Oh, and before I forget, I, Omid Ormsby, under the power granted me by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, hereby free you from impressed service to Auntie's Choice. Be seeing you.
Mind your own business interests.
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace.
perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vision, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, and atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working
Huh. Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
meticulously designed marvel where, if each
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick word to the wise. Despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
Just to offset any minor disruption.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal?
Look who's back.
Report them to refreshment post. It's not just a good idea. It's the law. Under protectorate law, we are bound
Outside.
in a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient offense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity. Our enemies envy our prosperity.
Look who's back.
Sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the parrot epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night.
Simply saying I'd rest easier if he'd been assigned to it. Originally. That generator goes, this town's finished.
We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Fulfill our duty to the protectorate. We're all in this together.
Everything, literally everything I own is underwater.
What do you mean? Everything we have belongs to the sovereign. We own nothing. But surely the protectorate will provide anything we need.
Of course they will. Natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how in
Gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious. Wonderful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the material perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the world.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the paradigm that they can.
It's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting.
My body is covered in burns acquired in battle during the attack. The only relief I have is when I can jump.
I wish everyone's neighbor Prudence was my actual neighbor. Except
He
my
floods our houses,
domicile
which
is
makes more
presently
habitat for
underwater.
fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses.
Right now, the paradigm needs our houses underwater. Hopefully, it'll need them dry again someday. But until then, it's a short swim down to your possessions.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan.
This
He
is
floods
all
our
going
houses, which
perfectly
makes more
according to the
habitat for fish,
paradigm, I
which
guess.
offers us
Right
more
now,
to eat,
I
which
just
gives
can't
us
wait for it to be
more
going.
houses.
Prudence
Then
dictates. We
How do I
maintain
cook
sufficient
you?
seeds at
Stay
all
true,
times.
outsider.
You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right. Well, don't let me keep you. You've returned.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started any part of the paradigm that they can.
A right shifty-looking individual, if you ask me.
Stranger?
wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically.
Stranger?
My body is covered in burns acquired in battle during the attack. The only relief I have is when I can jump in the water.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan.
He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses. But then, how do I cook the fish?
I was sad for a moment with the health. Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite him over to make it easier.
A right shifty-looking individual.
So much dust and debris during the attack. It still hurts to feel.
Prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm the paradigm affords us. A perfect life.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates.
Letting anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
We're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become the great war machine.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
Here, we're letting anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
Their paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become tiny cogs in the great war machine.
Working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the basic individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors.
Now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever.
The matriarch and Sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it.
No, I I just feel sad for them. Even in their name.
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Boulders falling prey to
I
imperfect.
inhaled so much dust and debris during the attack.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in
Claude the Wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid.
manipulative indoctrinatory.
Trust the plan, observe set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
A fine quote. My favorite is, we must route all disruptive factors to invasive elements.
The Wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Rampant of resources
I was sad for them to get my house.
Did you hear? They're letting anyone who wants to.
Their paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become
Trust the plan, observe set progress, sustain the system.
Claude the Wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
or the base individualists within
The Wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
abides. But now
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors. I may just invite them over to make it easier.
keep doing your job with
The Wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now.
I inhaled so much dust.
Trust the plan, observe set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
Fine quote. My favorite is, we must route all disruptive factors and invasive elements.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a
I
recreant
inhaled
locality. Record
so
states
much
as
dust
follows.
and debris
All
during the attack.
inhabitants are declared
Still has to be.
insufficient zeal in defense against
I was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. Then the Wireless told me everything was great.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors. I may just
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
I was sad for a moment because my house got submerged.
Designed it.
Did you hear? They're letting anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
But the paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
So the Sovereign to let us become tiny
lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have
How empty are the lives of NLT subjects that they need to rely on consumerism to find meaning?
Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the
Greetings, non-protectorate. However, I may offer you a limited initiating.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our... the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't give us the paradise.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect to govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Anti's choice. So don't forget, the system is brilliant. The system abolished. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
As ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Is a fellow subject lacking appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste.
I inhaled
It's not just
so much dust and debris. Still hurts to
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory...
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the Sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite him over to make it easier.
depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering.
Trust the plan. Serves
set. Progress, sustain the system, serve the Sovereign.
Fine quote.
Did you hear? They're letting anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
We're to spend our lives in our predetermined profession.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become tiny cogs in the great war machine.
Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything.
The wireless said that flooding westward is routine.
We appreciate it all. And thank the Sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded.
Duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.